We speak so often about the role of the bishopric in the rising generation. And then we overload the bishopric with so many things to do, that becomes, they don't have time to do that. What thoughts do you have about how the Ward Council can help the bishopric spend more time, more focus on the rising generation?
They make that a focus of discussion in a Ward Council.
Thank you.
And as that happens, I could see the bishop spending more time visiting young women. To have a bishop stop in on a young women class on Sunday, if the Ward Council could figure out a way to free them up so that they could be visiting primary and young men and young women and Relief Society. And do you know what that means to a young women class, to have the bishop stop in and say, I love you, I'm interested in you, I care what's going on in your class?
Thank you.
One of the great power that I think that the bishops have, and that is they have the youth. There's nothing more powerful in my experience than a young woman who loves the Lord, who sees that she can be an influence in someone who is drifting or someone who is not participating. So it is with a returned missionary. I would hope, it's wonderful if every returned missionary was assigned by the bishop to help fellowship a priest that's wandering. For some reason. I mean, he's a mentor, but we've got a lot of resources the bishop has. And if you ask the right question, what are our resources? Maybe these kinds of thoughts would pop up, and we'll find out that the bishop really does have a lot of ways to get some of this off of his shoulders out into the ward.
I remember, I see Elder Cook over there somewhere. Elder Cook taught a conference or two ago about all the things that a bishop could hand to a high priest, to an elder, to somebody. If somebody's needing help with a budget, the bishop doesn't have to work through everybody's budget. If it's not a moral issue, there must be an accountant on the high council that could help somebody set up a budget. And boy, there's just a lot of that. I've heard Elder Ballard teach that as long as I've ever known him.
Elder Holland, can I ask you one question?
Sure.
We've talked about that.
I'll have the same answer. It'll be, go to the family. Yeah.
No, but that principle is true, and it's been repeated, and so many bishops won't let go.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
It's a good point. I think I've frequently heard the idea that a bishop, this is a two-way street. One is to have the members be sensitive toward the bishop, but the other is for the bishop to let some of this go. And it might be tradition. It might be the fact that they feel they're supposed to magnify their calling. But if we could create a culture that allowed the members and the bishop himself to see that we're all in this together and there are a lot of things that other people can do, then the bishop might be free to do what he's commissioned to do.
And that could even be accelerated if the ward council peers into the mind of the bishop that this is I'm not in this alone.
Yeah.
I don't have to be the only one that worries about all of this. I've got all this help. And when you see the help that is in a ward or in a branch, even the little new ones that are struggling, it's out there, but we just haven't learned how to pull it into the action of working and helping bless the lives of our people.
That reminds us of Elder Perry's teaching. I think we've all been quoting Elder Perry ever since he said it, that if we go out and about the church and you don't have a unit that's fully mature and fully able to do everything, then don't try to do everything. Carve the program back, refine it in a way to the essentials to meet the number of people you have, the available help, and then let the unit mature. And some things will have to wait. Have to be judicious about what's essential and what's not. But I think that's one of the things Elder Ballard's reteaching is use other help, but when that help ends, when there's limits in a small unit, let the program be limited.
As I sit and listen, some might misinterpret and say, well, all of this is focused just on the people who are in the ward or the branch council, and they are benefited and blessed because of their serving and acting. But the whole point of these discussions in a council is so that those folks can then engage lots of other people in the same kind of service and opportunity. See, this goes to what Elder Ballard was just talking about. When they are anxiously engaged in the work, Their doubts will be fewer and their testimony will be stronger.